Digimon Survive is out in 2 more days, or if you're like a bunch of random people on YouTube, you've already had a copy of it, but most of us are going to be waiting until the 29th, and so I wanted to talk about a couple features of the game, which I thought was really cool. So let's dive on in. The first system is Karma. Karma takes a really big front seat in the game as it affects many things. Decisions made during gameplay, from anything as simple as to what to do in the morning to running or fighting in a dire situation, has major effects in the game. These effects can change the endings and even your Digimon, Agumon's growth options. Raising specific karma types to a high enough level will unlock new evolution branches for Agumon. Karma is broken into 3 types: Moral, Harmony, or Wrathful, which are conveniently color-coded to let you know your choice alignment before choosing them. This is a lot different than like a lot of other games I've played because generally it's blind, and really I'm thinking about Shin Megami Tensei in particular, but a lot of times you just have to kind of decide based off what you see. But this game is kind of cool because it gives you the color coding options in advance, so you can really tailor your gameplay. And if you're on multiple playthroughs, I actually think it's a really cool idea, because that way you don't accidentally end up messing something up or end up having to follow a guide like I have with SMT. The breakdown of the choices are moral, which is based off of justice, sacrifice, or prudence. I think that's really close to what you might find with like a lawful side in most games. And this one associates with the vaccine attribute, which we'll talk about in a little bit. Harmony is based around compassion, cooperation, and peaceful answers. I think this is kind of a semi-lawful sounding one in itself, but I think it's supposed to be kind of like a neutral route where you're working with things together and trying to build like a cooperation up amongst people, and that will come through in your dialogue choices. This associates with the data type attribute. The third one is called Wrathful, and this one is kind of bold, direct, or like goal-driven choices. So you're not going to be looking at the greater good of things, and you're not going to be looking at sacrificing or making sure everyone survives, but instead you're going to be really focused on the actual like goal or the objective that's at hand, and you're just going to do that no matter what. The end goal is to reach the goal by any means necessary. I think this one kind of falls closer to what you might find in most games, is like a chaos path, but kind of sort of not really in certain ways too. I don't really know how this is all going to work out in the game, but I am really excited to see it. This associates with the virus attribute. So speaking of the attributes, how do they work in the game? Well, they work to play a role in combat via kind of a rock, paper, scissors style system where vaccine beats virus, which beats data, which beats vaccine. Basically in battle, characters with an attribute advantage, they'll be more effective in the fight. They'll have a better chance of winning versus a non-effective type. It's kind of been said in some of the stuff that I read that it doesn't seem to be like the hugest like advantage, but it is something that you can use in combination with other features of your characters to make sure that you're winning the fights and you're succeeding in your endeavors. Another thing that the attributes do is they also assist with recruitment. So in the game, you're going to have certain opportunities at times where you can talk and have conversations with the other Digimon. And these could be ones on your team, these could be enemies. And you'll get the option to recruit them through a series of questions that they give you where you're going to have to answer about how their attributes and stuff work. Well, if your main character has built up his attribute in, let's say, Wrath, then you'll be able to find virus Digimon a lot more easier to work with in these conversations, and your chances of success will be a lot higher. Now, I know in previous games I've seen, like, again, Shin Megami Tensei, there's been times with the demon negotiations where when you're talking with the demons, sometimes you might answer wrong or something, and it gives you an opportunity to kind of recover from that. And I don't know if this is exactly what this is going to look like, but I think it would be really cool if they did do something that's similar to that. I'm going to have to dig a little bit more into it, and especially when I get the game, I'm going to be really hammering into these and seeing kind of what they do and what kind of different combinations that you can get. Another thing I wanted to talk about was the graphics, and I know this is kind of like a little hot take that some people have and some people don't, but honestly, I actually think the graphics in this one look really cool. I know it's a little bit like paper craft and they kind of move like robotically, but I've been playing a ton of this mobile game called Another Eden, which I absolutely love, and it has a similar art style in that respect to it. Initially, I was really turned off, so if anyone out there is also turned off by what the graphical presentation looks like in the battles and stuff, I can tell you that it may be one of those situations where you're going to acclimate to it really, really quickly. It's going to be easy to do, and you're going to actually end up liking it quite a bit. Because I know like Another Eden really grew on me, and I absolutely love it, and the fact that this game has kind of a similar style makes me a little bit excited. Plus, it's also kind of easy to run. So when you're looking at playing it on the Nintendo Switch, maybe there's going to be a lot less worries about what the performance of it might look like. So I know this is kind of a short video and I didn't really deep dive into anything too much, but I am really, really excited for this game, and I just wanted to talk about some of the features in the game that look really good. I think the visual novel style to it is going to be really great, because I think we're going to get a story that's going to be really memorable and interesting, but combined with the other things that I talked about earlier with the different branches and the paths that you can take and how you can play using different attributes and stuff, I think that the game might actually have some replayability to it that makes it really kind of exciting in that respect too. I've seen some stuff online that say it's anywhere between 80 to 100 hours long. I don't personally know obviously about that, but I think if it was a really robust, long experience and we got a whole lot out of it, this could definitely be worth the wait and all of the crazy delays that we have. Are you excited for this game? Let me know, and I'll be streaming it when I get the copy, hopefully tomorrow or the next day, definitely on the 29th. I'm Dre with YOKOSOOTAKU. If you like this content, hit the thumbs up, subscribe if you want to see more anime news reviews, and our Digimon Survive streams coming up. Catch you on the next one.